Welcome back to Where Yellows Walk. And before we get into the West Brom review, of course, this is the first time we've met since the international break. And before we met, just as we left, the tragic news of George Baldock's passing. A player who was an Oxford fan and, of course, joined the club on loan for a short period of time before starting up on a fantastic career, which led him, of course, all the way to the Premier League. Luke, what are your memories of George Baldock as a yellow?
George come into the squad when we was really struggling, really under Michael Atherton. It wasn't a good side. We wasn't together, and as soon as he stepped onto the pitch, we could see he was a level above the rest. It was no surprise to any Oxford fan that watched him play that he went on to play in the Premier League, into international football, and abroad in Greece. Like I say, very, for a loan player there for a very short period of time, a lot of good memories with George. And, like I say, never fallen in love with a loan player, and we did that very, very quickly with George.
Blake, anything to add to that?
All I'm going to say is the same things. Really, look how many games he played for Oxford. When his news is passing, Oxford Twitter, every fan was so devastated by it. He only played 30, 40 games for us, but he touched everyone's hearts playing. He was such a good player for us.
Absolutely. Tragic news. And the age of 31 is no age at all, is it? Rest in peace, George, and a credit to the club and to West Brom fans, of course, for how that tribute was conducted on Saturday. All right, quick review then of the game itself. Help me out with this this tweet that is going around a bit. Criticisms of Dane Scarlett are a lazy observation. Strikers fail more than they succeed. His quality is persevering. He makes the runs and gets into the spaces. Right, let's thrash this out, you three then. Dane Scarlett, Luke, is the criticism of him justified at all?
Absolutely not. I think coming from Spurs and being well established in the England youth setup, there's a lot of eyes on him to be probably the best player on the pitch when he does play for us. And he's doing absolutely fine. He took a little bit of time to settle in. He's definitely getting better game by game. But as soon as he doesn't shine as bright as we think he should, I think some fans are very quick to get on the back of him, but absolutely unjustified in my opinion.
Blake, is there too much comparison between him and Harris?
I say so. Yeah. I mean, you look at the minutes Scarlett's got as well. He's come on 10 minutes, and he's not played for 2 or 3 weeks. Then got another 10 minutes here and there. For any player, that's going to be hard to contribute when, especially a lot of the time, he comes on we're either winning, so we're not attacking much, or losing, but they're a better team. So it's hard for him to do anything in those 10-minute spells here and there.
Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? All right, great comments. What about the game itself then? Was that a deserved point, Luke, or were you lucky to get it in the end?
I think on the balance of the game, you could say we were slightly lucky. It wasn't our best performance, but West Brom are no slouches, are they? I think if they won, they would have been top of the league by the end of the game. I said, again, I don't know what your thoughts on XG are, but it was a game of very low XG from either side. So the fact we nicked it late on, I think, makes it a little bit sweeter for us than it does West Brom fans.
Okay. Pete Lindsay says, one of us could have easily given up, always in the game. I think the nitty-gritty stuff goes unnoticed. I was proud of them even before the equaliser. And Oliver Stone says, another good performance against a team that's going to be up there come May. Volks' best game by a country mile. Now, we've talked about Will Volks many times on this channel. Was that your view of Volks? Was that his best game?
That and the Norwich game are probably there. He started the Norwich game very well. Then he's had a bit of a been so great, but on Saturday he was probably up there with one of our best players. He just had a bad spell in between, but the Norwich game, that proves he's a good championship player.
Okay. All right, then. This week, then, it's a busy old week for Oxford. You've got Derby County, of course. How many points do you think you'll get out of your 2 games this week, Luke?
I think to make the point on the weekend a good one, we need to beat Derby at home, especially if that was an away leg, you'd maybe take a draw. But at home, you'd hope for 3, and then the following Saturday, I think, would be very, very lucky to grab a point. Right. So 3 would be good. 4 would be a bit cheeky, but we'd take it.
All right. Okay. All right. Good luck to you then. Finally, it's Halloween in a week or two. So we're asking all our teams this week, who's the scariest player that's ever pulled on a yellow shirt for Oxford? You know, those players that you sit in the stands and you think, I'm glad they play for us. Drop your comments below. Blake, who sticks out for you when we ask you for the nastiest player you've ever watched?
Well, for me, like a lot of the players we'd have had that have been nasty were probably way before my time. But for me, we had Mark Wright, and he was nicknamed the Beast for a reason. So he's got to be one of them. And then you've had players like Andy Wing, who just isn't scared to go in for a tackle. So for me, those two. But there's a lot before my time.
Yeah, good shouts. Luke?
Andy Wing was definitely one. As a young kid, I used to watch him trudging around the middle of the park, and he would win the ball hard and fair. And if he couldn't win the ball, he would hit the man hard. And, I think he had a spell coaching maybe the under-18s after he finished playing, and they went on to have maybe not the best disciplinary record. So I think his motto's got passed on down the youth academy.
All right, if you can beat that, drop it in the comments below. Thank you very much, you two, for joining us on this review. Of course, we'll be back next week to review the next two games for Oxford United as this season trundles on to its next international break. Thank you for watching. Drop us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. Have a great week. Enjoy your football.